What up, YouTubey? Denny in Saigon. My name's Denny. I'm an American, but I live in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Thanks for watching my video. It's another nice day out. It's probably going to rain. We are in the rainy season here in South Vietnam. It pretty much rains every day. If it doesn't rain this afternoon, it'll rain this evening. It's a slow start to the rainy season this year. It's not climate change. It's just the way it is. The weather has never been predictable, ever. Okay, not in your lifetime, not in anybody's lifetime. It's the weather. I remember when I was a kid, I think I might have been maybe 10 years old when I first read maybe it was I think Omni magazine or something like that, maybe Smithsonian. They were starting to push the climate change. Back then it was global cooling. I think it was global cooling. When they first come out with it, oh, the world's going to freeze in 20 years if we don't do something now. You know, we have to deindustrialize. We have to have a post-industrial society. We have to put everybody back in the 1800s, or we'll all be dead in 10, 12 years or whatever. They started that when I was a kid. And they simply revise their predictions every 10 or 12 years. They just push it back into the future. Call it something else. Oh, it's global warming. It's global cooling. It's climate change. The weather changes and it's your fault. The world is in a mess. Real mess right now. The media back in the West, Western media, it doesn't matter if it's USA or anywhere, Western media, they propagandize all the time. That's all they do is propagandize, and they push this climate change a lot. That's a mechanism for controlling you. It's a mechanism for destroying your individual freedoms. In the USA, we have supposedly we had freedom to be an individual, but people have been trying to undo that ever since they come out with it, you know. Ever since the great experiment in personal freedoms, people have been trying to undo it. People always have to fight to be free. You're not going to be free from generation to generation just because your forefathers fought and gave up everything. A lot of them, they gave up everything to be free, so that men can be free. I can pretty much guarantee you, if there's a free person anywhere in the world, it's because Americans became free for a little while. These people, they enjoy quite a bit of freedom, more than I thought that they would have. Probably a whole lot more free here than they are in China. That's what they want for you back home. They want the Chinese model. You've got enemies in the USA, you know. You have a lot of enemies beyond just the deep state in America. Your enemies are global. People like the popes, you know, and the World Bank and George Soros. They give people money, you know, free money all the time. They give them debit cards to come to your country, you know, and disrupt things. Because that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they want them to do, is come to your country and disrupt things. They can come to your country, and then the dim-dims could put them in your district so they can negate your vote. They put them in your state so they can take away your vote. They don't want them in their state. They want them in your state. Trust me, that's exactly where Obama sent the immigrants when they come to the USA too. He sent them right to your state. There's no lefties listening to my program, I'm sure. If there's anybody listening, you're not on the left, probably. Probably mostly Vietnamese who don't understand what I'm saying, but some Vietnamese in the USA listen to my, watch my videos, and that's cool. I mean, everybody's welcome to watch my videos. I just hope you don't mind my opinion. I've got to give out my opinion before they censor me off of the internet, which is coming. It's coming. The censorship, you know, they have to counter the truth. Lies outnumber the truth 1,000,000 to 1. Okay? And where can the truth be found? The truth is usually found at the bottom of a very deep hole. And the people who want to cover it up keep piling more shit down there to make sure that it never sees the light of day. People like the news media and the Democrats, they don't want you to know anything, okay? People like Rachel Maddow, you know, shovels her shit for 2 years about, you know, Trump's Russian collusion. She had Hillary on the other night. Hillary is basically, Hillary's basically a modern day Jezebel. Have you ever noticed how similar she is to Jezebel from the Bible? Really, it's the, you know, it's a spirit. It's the same people that live over and over and over. I'm not talking about reincarnation. I'm talking about the spirit. You know, I think that's why God looked into their hearts and told us what they were thinking, basically, in the Bible. You know, Hillary, she pretty much wants to do exactly, wants to do to Trump exactly what Jezebel did to Naboth. You know, Jezebel, she got a couple of fake false witnesses to make up a fake dossier on Naboth, you know. And she accused Naboth of conspiring with the Russians, colluding with the Russians. So they convicted Naboth of colluding with the Russians, and they stoned him to death. But she took his vineyard. And that's pretty much what Hillary wants to do to Trump. And she's got a lot of people on her side. A lot of people are in with Hillary on her side, and you know, they're willing to have Naboth stoned on false accusations. No problem. No problem. Make no mistake, the people in the media, they're far too smart. They know full well it's false charges. They know Trump didn't collude with the Russians. They know Hillary did collude with the Russians. Where'd the dossier come from? Well, you know, a lot of people worked on that dossier. Rachel Maddow's never going to tell you. Glenn Simpson worked on that dossier. Bruce Orr worked on that dossier. Nellie, his lovely wife, she worked on the dossier. Bruce Orr, he's high up in the Justice Department. There were people all over the place working on the dossier. Mueller didn't even interview Glenn Simpson. That's pretty odd, isn't it? Glenn Simpson, you know, abusing GPS, worked for Hillary. He was meeting with the Russian lawyer before she went to the Trump Tower meetings, before and after. She was let into the country under special circumstances. She had no visa. I mean, I can't get my wife into the country on circumstances like that. I'd like to bring her to the USA. She's not coming. They won't let her. Pretty sure I could ask Obama, will you let her in? He probably still can. I think he's running his little cabal from behind the scenes. Hillary and Obama, and they're building the narrative for the 2020 cheating right now. You know, I guarantee they're gonna repeat all of that in 2020. They're gonna repeat it all. Trump cheated, and he cheated Hillary again, and stole the election again, and conspired again, and we need another special counsel again. Make no mistake, if Trump wins in 2020, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And make no mistake, the Dems plan to cheat their asses off. They're setting all that up right now. Every year, okay, especially every presidential year, the stakes are too high. The stakes are too high in America. I'll tell you what else. They had this report in the media about 500, it's probably fake news, but 500 ex-prosecutors claiming that they prosecuted people on far less than what was in the Mueller report. I think it was Kathleen Harris, what is it? She said she prosecuted people for far less than what was in the Mueller report. So, you know, they're probably going to have to go back and revisit all these prosecutions from all these prosecutors, because they probably were prosecuting people for no crimes. They probably were. I bet if you take a hard look at it from sea to shining sea, that there's judges and prosecutors and fine men and women of law enforcement who are willing to prosecute people on no crime. Same thing they went after Trump on. Nothing. I would just about guess that that's a thing back in the USA, and that they get away with it. That would be my guess, because if you take a look at people, and they're willing to, a lot of people, half the country's willing to go along with this scam on Trump. They're willing to go right along with it like it's legitimate, and I bet those same exact people would be more than willing to go along with a prosecution of you on the same charges. They'd support that, I bet. They'd probably support prosecuting you about your political opinions. You think I'm wrong? I bet I'm not. There's people in Canada that are willing to prosecute a father for calling his daughter a girl instead of a boy, even though she wants to be called a boy. They're willing to send him to jail. The police are willing to show up at his house at 4 o'clock in the morning with a no-knock raid, guns drawn. Very serious allegations. Very serious business. Okay? That's the world we're living in. If you want my personal opinion, I think that the Bible really did prophesy about Clown World. Just didn't use those words, you know. Woe to the inhabitants of Clown World. Anyways, my name's Denny. Thanks for watching my video. I hope wherever you're at, you have a wonderful day.